Okay, that was unexpected, but I guess we'll deal with it. But welcome in to DDLC Plus, and in the time that I actually looked into the menus of everything before I started filming, as a means to get a grasp on how to really tutorialize things before we began, I come to find out that you actually cannot do the side stories on this portion of the game until you've done the main story. Now, what I have heard, let's just log into this right here. What I have heard also is that they may have revised a few little things related to the main portion of the game, and we're logging into the DDLC portion right here. And as you can see, this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. So I hope you did take notice of the warning that I put over there in that regard. But for this time around, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go through the whole thing. And what we have to do is actually we have to go through each of the character arcs in that regard. Now, one thing, I was working on a fan dub of this, but unfortunately that project had to be put on hold. But I am curious as to the side stories of everything. So what we're going to do, and I did contemplate with this before I started filming, is whether or not to include a run through of the DDLC. So to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a DDLC run of just me, and then I'll also continue when I'm able to, along with the other actors who are part of the project with the fan dub in another version. And then we'll also, once we get through all the character arcs, then we'll also go through the side stories and everything. Sound good? All right. So with that, let's start a new game. And just note that for my particular character, as it was in the fan dub, which is going to get redone because there's actually a few discrepancies with it from an audible perspective. The character name I chose with is Sosuke, which, if some of you who really know me, that's actually one of the nicknames that I received at some point in time. So with that, let us begin on a new game. And someone is shouting, "Hey." I see an annoying girl. Wow, just right off the bat. Just saying they're annoying right off the bat. This must be a frequent occurrence, I guess. But if that's the case, then bruh, why ain't you call the cops? If that's the case. But anyways. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. So anyways, that's one of those, okay, sorry. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. So I was apparently corrected before during the fan dub that I had, along with some of the other actors, has said the name of Sayori wrong. That we were calling her Sayori, but apparently it's Sayori. So in this one, I'll say it the way it is, but with all the filming that we've done already in the other one, we'll just keep it what it is for that. All right, so let's see what we got here. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of worked out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. And she's totally panting. "How far did you have to run, cuz?" And she says she's overslept. You say again, how many times have you overslept? But she caught us this time, or caught me apparently. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. And she shows a little pouty face, which honestly is actually quite cute. That little pouty face right there, especially with those blue eyes. Absolutely cute. You say that like you were thinking of ignoring me, she says. That's mean, Sosuke, Sayori says. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. I think you're putting too much emphasis on it, Sosuke. Fine, Sayori says. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Don't push it, Sayori. He may not have the potential to be mean, but he does have the potential to be assertive. Whatever you say, Sayori. And she giggles. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Sosuke, Sayori says, trying to get his attention, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Yeah? That's not true, Sayori says. You told me you would join a club this year. I did. I wouldn't even do that. Okay, maybe I might, but it depends on what it is. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. So note to each of us, always pay attention to the conversations in which we are addressed. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content with just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh, Sayori replied. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. This is totally not talking about me in any way, shape, or form. Your happiness is really important to me, you know, expresses Sayori. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Says the individual who's in the middle of a video game talking to someone who actually is in the real world and has jobs and everything and is socializing and is not necessarily a NEET, but actually would have preferred if they were one. To a degree. Sayori asks if I trust her and pleads with me not to make her keep worrying about me. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little, Sayori pleads. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. And Sayori jumps for joy, shouting yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? Because she's cute and you kinda like her. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. Come on, kid. Be real about it. You got a cute girl as that on your case about making sure you're living right. You like it. Don't even go there. You like it. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the walls, looking for an ounce of motivation. I don't think you're going to get it looking at the chalkboard. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. And someone says hello. Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Yeah, that sounds about accurate. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, says Sayori, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. Wait, how is that supposed to impress you? Wait a minute. What is going on here? How is that supposed to impress you? Anyways, you don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, replied Sayori, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, then you can come to my club, replied Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, replied Sayori. There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie, replied Sayori. with that cute little pouty face again. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. And Sayori pleads with him to come with her. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, replied Sayori, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Wait a minute, you bargained? Are you kidding me? You straight up bargaining now? And she giggles. Don't make promises you can't keep. Exactly. What is you doing making promises you can't keep? Come on now. That's why you pleading with us. That's guilt. That's straight up guilt. That's guilt. Anyways, I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. It's the second one, buddy. Trust me, it is the second one. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Bruh, don't let your sweet tooth get you into trouble, bruh. Don't do that. Do not do that. Just pick up a recipe book and make your own cupcakes if you want one. But don't give in to your sweet tooth like that. Don't do it. And there she goes, totally excited with a, yeah, let's go. Anyways. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I don't think you realize how much of that is literary to a degree. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! Dun, 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 dun! Said Sayori. I told you don't call me a new member. Huh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you, says girl number 1. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Sosuke, what a nice surprise. Do I know you, cuz? Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Bruh, get your head out the gutter and reel it back in. Where my fishing pole at? Reel it back in. Reel it back in, cuz. Reel it back in. What are you looking at? If you got something to say, then say it. What's up with you? Sorry. Natsuki. Jeez. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Okay, I guess it's that time of the week or the month or whichever one it is. I mean, I got some chocolate. You like crunch? You know, you like crunch? Because I got a crunch bar if it's that time of the month. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. I got a heating pad also. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. I'm pretty sure with the amount of decibels that was, it would have carried over, and Natsuki probably would have heard it anyway. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. Negative energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that, says Yuri. Oh, the humble. Don't worry, Yuri. I commend you for being humble. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Oh, trust and believe, Yuri. I'm having trouble with that with our generation as well. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? Asked Sayori. That's right. It's great to see you again, Sosuke, says Monica. Monica smiles sweetly. And I'm noticing this right here. Notice that lean right there. See, she's working it right now. Notice that lean like that right there. See, she knows how to. She knows what it takes to get a guy's attention. I'm telling you right now. Watch this one. Watch that one. Watch. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. Yeah, but it seemed like she got her eyes on you, buddy. It seemed like she got her eyes on you. And it looked like she had her eyes on you for quite a while. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... It means she likes you, buddy. It just means she likes you. And I mean, come on now, look at that. That ponytail with that ribbon. Oh my gosh. Oh, hush. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Sosuke, says Sayori. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. Wow, it's either you or her, huh? It can't be any of the other two. But then again, you know, Yuri's a little timid and Natsuki probably would smack you upside the head, I guess. I don't know. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them, shouts out Natsuki. Ho, 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 goodness. Like, this is my property. This is my property. You better not mess with this. You better not mess with my property, yo. Sorry, you got a little bit excited there, said Sayori. And how about I make some tea as well? Yo, Yuri, that's where it's at. Tea is where it's at. You got some oolong tea, by the way? That stuff is awesome. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are y'all ready, everybody? Are y'all ready, kids? Ta-da! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Yo, she know where it's at. It's with the cats is where it's at. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Okay, creative. Very nice. So cute, says Sayori. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki, expresses Monica. Well, you know, expresses Natsuki. Along with that little tooth, along with that little I want to say she's almost tsundere at this point. So I would say, you know, that little saber, that little tsundere tooth, and whatever that is. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow shortly after. It's delicious, says Sayori, with food in her mouth, mind you, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. She's probably just like, is he gonna like it? 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 Please like it, please like it, please. Please. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Yeah, she is. I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. Ooh, this is really good. Yep, thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like yup, tsundere confirmed, darn it. Ah! Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Yeah, you're heard in all kinds of anime and stuff that makes you just want to take a baseball bat and smack them upside the head. Made them for you or anything, expressed snarky Natsuki. No? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you know, you dummy. Anyways. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Nice. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission, replied Yuri. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? It would be if I really enjoyed books, but unfortunately I only enjoy equipment manuals. But you know what? It's also a book form, so why not? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. You were just trying to impress you, replied Monica. But I don't think Yuri... Oh, yeah, the blush is there. Okay, I see it. But that's not, replied Yuri frantically. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, expresses Yuri. I believe you. Don't worry about it. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy the tea. Yuri shows a sign of relief. I'm glad, she says. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. Can you raise an eyebrow for us so we can have a visual? Sorry. So, what made you consider the literature club? Asked Monica. You better find a reason real quick, buddy. Otherwise, this is gonna get very awkward. I was afraid of this question. Then you should have been thinking about an answer. Something tells me I should not tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, that's technically what happened, so you'd be telling the truth. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed, Monica says to reassure us. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? All right, so let me get a couch right here. Let me get the PlayStation right here. And I need about 4 computer screens with some softbox lights, the green screen. And yeah, you're gonna have to get a mixer that's really expensive. Yeah, so if you could do all that with a nice little mic like this one, I'd definitely be good with it. Okay. As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Sounds like a real tough job, especially for Natsuki with that attitude. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Sosuke, I'm gonna tell you right now from experience, that's a tough job. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Oh! Yeah, some of those probably weren't even debates. Some of them were just plain arguments. Well, you know, says Monica. And with that pose again. You gonna wear that out, aren't you? You gonna straight up wear that out, huh? You just gonna wear that out. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Yo, I'm right there with you on that. I am right there with you on that. It feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. Yeah, but, well, I guess I'm still in that neck of the woods since I do AV production. Yeah, it can be tough managing a bunch of expectations and everything like that. It can get worrisome sometimes. But that's why you take vacations. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader, expresses Sayori. Yuri nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Well, I mean, come on now. Not many people are all that into literature. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way, Monica says. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Yeah, not many people are into reinventing the wheel, if you will. But sometimes the reinvention of that wheel actually make things more efficient. I don't like saying easy, I'd rather say efficient. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. Well, I think you've got an edge ahead of you for now, Monica. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I see. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate, says Monica. How long before you graduate? Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. They'll just do it! You know it! And then Natsuki just goes... Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Hopefully down the road in the side stories we'll get some clarification as to how that happened. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Sosuke asks Yuri, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, we're doomed. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. We've confirmed! Natsuki! It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Unfortunately, Yuri. Unfortunately. Honestly, I haven't even read manga either. I'm too lazy to do it. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Bruh, stop trying to win one of these girls over, okay? Just don't. Just don't. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri contemplates for a second. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, she expresses. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Just like some of us introverts, especially as technical introverts, I find most of my joy immersed in my technology. Anyways. But, I like a lot of things. Stories with a deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Yo, you play Resident Evil? I read a horror book once. What was that, Goosebumps? I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimal level. You're trying too hard, Sosuke. Stop. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? Interjected Monica. I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. Hey, them quiet ones are the most dangerous ones, so don't mess with them. Them quiet ones, they dangerous. I guess you could say that, replied Yuri. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror, interjected Natsuki. Oh, why's that? Asked Yuri. Well, Natsuki fades in her thought. Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Because I'm into the guy who's into manga. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Interjected Monica. What? Replied Natsuki nervously at that. What gives you that idea? Girl, quit fronting. You know exactly what that is. Quit fronting. You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. Oh, busted! It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! Natsuki interjects, frantically trying to stop. And if you think this was straight anime, then it would be like the flailing of the arms and everything like that. And give it back. Jeez, she's demanding on this one. Fine, surrendered Monica. Your cupcakes, your poems, interjects Sayori. Oops, sorry, Sayori. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. Careful, Sayori, that could classify as harassment. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you're just making it worse. You're just making it worse. Stop. You're just making it worse. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes, replied Natsuki. Why do you care? Girl, will you chillax? Jeez. You're trying to make conversation and try to just get acquaintance. Like, chill out. I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki completely denied it. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them, expressed Natsuki. Ah, not a very confident writer yet, huh? I understand how Natsuki feels, interjected Yuri. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Asked Monica. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. And Yuri completely goes, no. I guess it's the same for Yuri as well. Ah, I wanted to read everyone's poems, expressed a saddened Sayori. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, check this out, y'all, interjected Monica. Along with that pose again. You just wearing that pose out, ain't you? Jeez. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home, write a poem of our own. Then the next time we meet, we'll share all of them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Ooh. Yeah, they don't look like they're too happy about this. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club, expressed Monica. Isn't that right, Sosuke? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem here. Oh, what's that? Asked Monica. Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth and with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, expressed Monica. I'm sorry, I thought, expressed Yuri. Expressed a very angry Natsuki. Sosuke, expressed Sayori. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. Bruh! Okay, lesson moment. Sure, some people may be bummed out if you don't join their particular club, but if the club's not for you, the club's not for you. Okay, that's nothing to feel sorry about. They'll get over it. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? Bruh! Okay, they're cute girls and all that stuff. So blasted what? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Another one lost to their desires, apparently. Another one lost. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Good luck, kid. You're gonna need it. One by one, the girls' eyes lighten up. Yay! I am so happy! Happy, joy, happy. Okay, sorry. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. I can actually picture that. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment there, expressed Yuri with a sigh of relief. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed, expressed Natsuki as if she was getting ready to smack me upside the face. Then that makes it official, and there it goes again with that pose. That pose once again, folks. Welcome to the Literature Club. Official! Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. So you only gather together just for the new member, and after that, you're just gonna split? Wow. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Sosuke, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Are you sure you really want to see that? Giggled Monica. And again with that blasted pose! Doggone it! Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? Probably not. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Sosuke, says Sayori. Since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart to the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? That's to be determined, but I got a sneaky suspicion you're gonna have to really work for it, buddy. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. And I think with that, we're going to call it right there, give you a little suspense, and we'll find out in the next episode how we continue on in the venture of writing poems for some girls who probably might not even have that much interest in us to begin with. But I want to thank everyone for watching this episode this time around. If you like what you saw, maybe consider leaving a like. And if you haven't done so already and you want to see more, maybe consider subscribing, and be sure to also click on the bell icon to activate notifications. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.